Shabbat Shalom. I don't know about you, but very often I go away on vacation, a nice week away, and I return and that memory is just gone. A week of being free from obligations and emails and schedules, free from everything that can clutter one's life, and just to enjoy, to relax. At the end of that week, I feel often like a new person. And then I come home, and a week or 2 weeks later, it feels as if I never went away. You have that experience? I call that vacation amnesia. Now, what happens to those memories? Well, I'm not a neuroscientist, but I imagine that they are placed into a different part of our brain once we get back to the regular rituals of our daily lives. And in order to draw upon them, we have to be very cognizant of it, maybe closing our eyes to relive it or to look at pictures. Long gone, the feelings of goodness and peace. Well, this week's portion of Ki Tisan, the book of Exodus, speaks of the greatest sin of the Israelites, the worshiping of the golden calf. It's in this moment that Moses comes down with the tablets and just so disgusted by them circling and worshiping that golden calf that he smashes the tablets of the 10 Commandments. To really understand what this moment is about, you have to know that just 40 days previously, the Israelites had experienced what theologians call the greatest theophany of all time. That is a God experience. They stood at the foot of Mount Sinai and they looked up at the mountain covered in smoke. They could hear thunder, the call of the shofar. They even heard the voice of God dictating the 10 Commandments. If this is not a peak experience, I don't know what it is. Abraham Maslow, an American psychologist and philosopher, he coined that experience peak experience to designate a moment in which we feel more connected to life than at any other moment. And we have meaning. It could be happiness or meaning itself. They had this peak experience in Mount Sinai. So what happened? Well, there are some commentators who want to suggest that because Moses was up on the mountain so long, the people were afraid that he had abandoned them and they would never come back. And so they turned to an idol, the ways that they might have known in Egypt. But maybe, just maybe, it relates to my vacation amnesia. Maybe they just forgot about what took place 40 days earlier. What are we supposed to do with those peak experiences when they are few and far between? Well, we're supposed to create a life, a living of life each day in which we act out and we reflect those values in our daily lives. When it comes to the Israelites, they build a tabernacle in order to take Mount Sinai with them to represent that relationship with God. But in truth, it's by following the Torah and Jewish rituals created later in which we act out and live out constantly that peak experience. So how does Shabbat fit into peak experiences? Well, according to the Torah, we're supposed to, on Shabbat, remember creation and the Exodus. Creation, a sense of connectedness to life, to God, to the universe. According to Abraham Joshua Heschel, this would be a moment of radical amazement. The Exodus, in which we remember about liberation. When we think about freedom for all people, and we feel that liberation and the importance of freedom. Those are the peak experiences that we want to recall on Shabbat. Well, I hope you have a Shabbat of peak experiences, of reliving creation, of reliving the Exodus. I wish for you a Shabbat connected to all things and family, to yourself, to life itself. Wishing you Shabbat Shalom.